Well, a blockage in the Rolling Fork River in Nelson County poses risks to towns both upstream and downstream.
You know, we've had some serious rains recently, but we are talking this mess about the historic floods from back in April creating this problem. As our Ian Hardwitt and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton are going to show us, a second year of flooding could be even worse if this problem isn't fixed.
We don't even know the entire depth of what we're dealing with, so it could be quite significant, the amount of debris that we'll have to remove.
Nelson County Emergency Management Director Brad Metcalf says this clog in the Rolling Fork River poses a big risk to the area around Nelsonville Road. Hundreds of trees, even some rusty propane tanks, block the river's regular flow.
What if it breaks? What does that mean to the downstream towns that are below it? Is that almost like a dam breaking and then you have this big wall of water that takes out the town of Boston? Those are the things that we're concerned about.
Even outside of a break, the backup is an issue for more than just the nearby cornfields. Further upstream is New Haven, which saw its fair share of flooding back in April, but you can still see the impacts over here by the bank. All these trees up here were deposited by the floodwaters when the water was about 20 foot higher than it is right now. Metcalf says FEMA has approved about $3 million in Nelson County for public assistance fixing roads and bridges. He estimates another $500,000 price tag for a contractor brave enough for the clog job.
One contractor had talked about actually placing a barge in the middle of the river so that they could have a platform to work off of, and then taking and grabbing the debris and then placing it upon the banks.
FEMA is actively processing these applications, the agency told us in a statement. We're continuing to work the Commonwealth to support community recovery efforts. Metcalf meets with FEMA next week, taking surveyors to the river bend in his bid for funding.
If I had my way, I would like to try to get a contractor in here immediately to try to at least get some kind of channel open back up.
After 2025's floods delayed his plans to clean up the river, now Metcalf feels the clock ticking down again towards possible future flooding. In Nelson County, Ian Hardwitt, WHAS 11 on your side.
Well, if FEMA doesn't come through with the funds, Metcalf says he's going to need to request that money from the Kentucky General Assembly when it meets about the Kentucky budget next year. FEMA has currently given out over $32 million in household assistance to Kentucky for April's flooding alone.